Hi, I'm Hannah Holden and we're here at Leeds Golf Centre and we're going to be meeting Dan, who's going to be testing out the new Ping G410 LST driver. He's currently got the Ping G400 Max in his bag, so let's go and see how the two perform. So just a bit on the tech. The LST model is designed to produce lower, more stable spin, but it's also designed to have a high MOI, which adds forgiveness to the shot. In fact, this has 3% more MOI than the previous LST model. This has a slightly smaller head than the G410 Plus, and it also has a slightly more rounded pear-shaped design. The centre of gravity is also positioned to be more forward in the club, so this is helping to reduce spin by 200 to 400 RPM. This also includes the new Dragonfly technology, so this is designed to create an ultra-thin crown, so this reduces the weight of the club and increases forgiveness by having a higher MOI. Let's head out on the range and see how Dan got on. So we've been out on the range and done some testing. So Dan, what was your first impressions of the G410 LST?
Well, I'm currently using G400 Max, which is a slightly different looking driver. It's a much prettier head, I would say. It's a little bit more compact as well, slightly different colour, clearly more of a player's driver.
In terms of like height, shot style, how was that different between the two models?
Well, one of the first things I noticed is that the face sits just slightly open. I think it's called Tour Open. So that's a slightly different feel to me compared to my Max. And I felt that the flight was a tiny bit flatter, which you would expect, wouldn't you, coming off the Max, which
definitely.
is more of a game improvement driver.
Yeah, so obviously you've mentioned there, this is designed specifically to bring the ball flight down and reduce spin, which we definitely saw in like the numbers and the flight when we were out on the range. So one of the other things we noticed is there was a slight difference in sound between the two. So do you want to describe a bit what you noticed with that?
Yeah, so it just seems to me that the sound off the 410 is just a little bit less screechy, I suppose, is one way of putting it. I guess it feels like you've got a little bit more control over it. I find that off the G400 Max is that bit livelier, a bit more jumpy is the feel, and that is just a real personal preference thing, isn't it, as to whether you would feel you had the control or whether you feel you've got that lively ball speed. Probably doesn't make a lot of difference on the actual numbers, but it's perception, isn't it?
So you've got fitted for the G400 and had all the shaft and everything custom fit to you. So they've sent one that's very similar but slightly new in the G410. What differences did you notice with that?
Yeah, so it's a very slightly different shaft. So I'm coming off the Hazardous and I've gone into a Project X Even Flow. It's slightly different. It just felt a touch softer to me just on the shots I've been hitting today. Again, might just be my perception, and that may of course just be affecting the feel as well. So I mean, I guess with any driver, especially a premium driver like this, you really want to try lots of different shafts and try and feel like you've got it dialed in for you.
What would you be looking at kind of conditions using this in?
Well, I guess the low spin, I mean, is definitely of interest to me. I tend to hit the ball high, and obviously playing in the wind, the golf I play is in the wind, so I'm always interested in the LST version. Now, in the predecessor, I really struggled to get it to sit square. I found it just tended to roll open and close when I was over the ball, whereas the Max has got a really solid footprint, just sits dead square behind the ball, which I liked. Now, I've got to say that this, to me, sits way better than its predecessor does, so I'm really intrigued to try it. You never really know with a driver, I don't think, until you've tried it out on the course and maybe in some wind, but if it's just helping to just keep that flight going forward and not balloon, then I'm very excited to use it.
So that's our initial testing done. Dan's going to take this out over the summer on the course and keep seeing how it performs long term. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you again soon.